Good morning everyone, this is Multi-Game Master 1 here and welcome back to my 100% Let's Play of Pikmin. Yesterday we explored more of the Forest Navel and recovered 3 more ship parts, and today we're going to explore even more of the Forest Navel. Alright, and here we are once again back in the dark caverns, and now let's get to work. So the first thing I'm going to do is gather up 100 blue Pikmin. And now let's go ahead and get started. And you guys would think that I would start with the usual routine, gather the bomb rocks from back in that region somewhere, but I actually want to go to a different source of bomb rocks, and here it is over here past the water. Of course, yellow Pikmin can't really get to it because, as you guys know, the yellow Pikmin can't really swim, and if they entered the water they would drown within a matter of seconds. However, that won't be a problem because we can simply have the blue Pikmin construct these 2 bridges in order for the yellow Pikmin to reach the bomb rocks, and up there we have another ship part. I'll get to it in just a moment. So yeah, it's actually more useful to get bomb rocks over here instead of back there. And here we have the next ship part. I found my gravity jumper. By manipulating the forces of gravity, this key component gives me the final boost I need to make the jump to super light speed. Good thing I found it. Yes, it is a very good thing indeed. However, we can't really take it back to the SS Dolphin because the Pikmin are faced with some kind of impediment in front of them. The Pikmin that are carrying our spoils seem to be milling about in one place with their loads. It appears that their path back to the onion is blocked, and faced with what seems to be an insurmountable obstacle, they have lost their focus. This is unacceptable. I will have to determine what is blocking their way and do what I can to resolve the problem. So indeed, here's the source of the problem. There's no bridge to connect between here and the mainland, and ultimately to the path that takes us back to the SS Dolphin and the Onion, so we'll have to construct the bridge and complete it in order to activate the Pikmin's main path of interest back towards the ship and onions. And thus the bridge is already complete. Now we can take this back, no problem. And one thing about the Pikmin carrying the scraps and loads and ship parts back, they pretty much follow their own path and not the path that you wish for them to take. But as long as you clear a path for them and they say safe, then you'll be fine. Okay, so I'm just gonna meet these guys at the start. I honestly like the way the Pikmin carry the loads and scraps and ship parts back. I don't know why though, but it just seems rather cool to watch them carry it back. And there we go. One less ship part to worry about. Gravity jumper. This anti-gravity device allows the dolphin to swim gracefully through the sea of stars like a dolphin. 17 to 30 parts, 12 more will increase the ship's capabilities. So now the blue Pikmin are pretty much done with everything in this cave, so I'm gonna send these guys back into their onions and they can rest for a while. And next I'm going to call out the yellow Pikmin. Okay, now that the gang is assembled, let's move further into the darker reaches of the cavern. And I guess we'll get a small group going right here. These Pikmin that I'm growing are going to be the ones that'll carry the bomb rocks. And I have 15 here because I believe there are a total of 15 in this tube that we see right here. There should be a couple left. Okay, there we go. And the first thing I'm gonna do with this bomb rock is, let me see. We seem to have a Wollywog over there. I guess I'll use the bomb rocks to deal with that. And like all the other enemies, it deals massive damage. There, the creature is defeated. And I'll come back for these sheer grubs and sheer wigs later. Okay, now let's see, where else? Oh, I actually remembered. And down there we have a new enemy, but I don't think I'm going to be able to have time to cover it today, so I'll do so tomorrow. Right now I just want to destroy this rock wall right here, while it's avoiding the fire jets. And we are successful, so let's make our way backwards. And get out of the way, sheer grubs and sheer wig. You know, those guys are a nuisance, so I will go ahead and deal with them. Of course, me being overrun, it's gonna take me a while in order to deal with all of them. But I'm only going for the sheer grubs, not the sheer wigs. I'll have the yellow Pikmin finish them off. The sheer wigs. Okay, so that's all the sheer grubs. Now for the sheer wigs. Let's see, was there one over here? There is one over here. And I know I took some damage while fighting these guys, but I will restore my spacesuit. What are you doing, yellow Pikmin? Wrong target. Okay, there. Now let's get this one over here. Okay, there we go. Let me see. There are actually some more sheer grubs and sheer wigs that we'll need to deal with as well, so I'll take care of them as well, and they are right here. And up there we have another candy pop bud. That one is golden, so if you toss your Pikmin in, you'll get yellow Pikmin out of it. And you can pretty much use them whenever you want to. And of course, the thing about the candy pop buds and respawning Pikmin, once you make the swap, they'll go back to being leaf Pikmin. Okay, so that's all the sheer grubs. Now for the sheer wigs. Okay, there we go. That's one. And where are you guys going? Come back here. Oh no, you don't. And here's the last one over here. And there we go, all the enemies have been defeated. And if you guys hear some background noise, I apologize, it's actually raining pretty hard over here. Okay, so palm rocks. We'll use them to take down this wall over here. And one more should do the trick. There we go. And we seem to have 3 more left. I'll use them to take down this wall as well. And I'll just simply have the red Pikmin. Not the red Pikmin. What am I saying? Jeez. Losing focus. I'll have the yellow Pikmin take down the wall. Some of them at the least. Right now I want to focus on taking these scraps back. And I'm doing it the safest way possible. Another thing I like about the Pikmin carrying the scraps back, they do it in a straight line. It's nice to see that they have organization and clarity in their minds. Okay, so we have 48 yellow Pikmin left. I'll use them to take down this rock wall over here. And by the sound of that, it sounds like the 48 yellow Pikmin have finished taking down the wall. And before they get even close to that fire jet, I'm gonna call them back here. And I think we have enough time to cover one last thing. Initially I was thinking that we weren't gonna have enough time to cover it, but I guess apparently we do. So I'll send the yellow Pikmin back, and while they climb back, I'm gonna repair my spacesuit. I'm gonna try to get this last thing done as fast as I can. So let's have the red Pikmin come out. And we'll go ahead and take care of that enemy that we saw down in the trenches. And if I can get this done in time, then that'll be great. So the creature up ahead is known as the puff stool, and to defeat it I pretty much recommend just tossing the Pikmin at its legs and then causing him to trip, like so. And then just simply attacking the creature's legs in order to defeat it. And I guess I didn't get into much detail about the creature. Well, I'll cover it in a second. I found the Omega Stabilizer. I absolutely must have this piece if my battered ship is ever to fly straight again. It has steered me through countless deep space storms. That, and it looks rather cool. So I guess I'll get into the puff stool that we just defeated. The creature's main means of attack is, well, first of all, it just runs away from the Pikmin, and you can pretty much just trip him over with enough Pikmin. But if the creature is threatened by the Pikmin whatsoever, then it will release some kind of gas that will cause your Pikmin to be converted from normal Pikmin to mushroom Pikmin. And mushroom Pikmin are very bad for you to have on your team because they can and will easily turn against you. So take very good care of yourself and your Pikmin as you defeat the beast. And of course, the only way you can defeat the mushroom Pikmin is if you either punch them and deal with them yourself, or if you sadly use your friendly Pikmin against them. And it's real sad and disappointing to turn against your friendly allies, but to reduce the threat, you have to start somewhere, even if it means killing your own friend. But thankfully, such wasn't the case today, and I haven't lost my Pikmin through a glitch. So there goes the ship part. And again, I'm really surprised that I was able to get this done in time. Omega Stabilizer. This is the dolphin's fin. It is a little beaten up, but it should still function. I've made great strides in repairing the dolphin. With this, I should be able to fly again, even if I don't recover all 30 parts. And I actually remembered that I still needed to cover that. Anyway, 18 to 30 parts, 11 more will increase the ship's capabilities. And the thing about some ship parts not being needed is, as you continue your expedition on this planet in search of the missing ship parts, there will be some that you actually won't need, and we've actually gotten quite a few of those already. Of course, I'm not going to tell you what they are. I have an idea as to what the unnecessary ship parts are, but those come up at the end of the game, and by then I will show you them. But even if you don't recover those parts, you'll be able to escape from the planet and potentially complete the game. But for the sake of this LP, I'm going to grab every single ship part because I'm OCD like that and like to complete everything 100%. 12 days since impact. There are now only 12 parts that I still need to retrieve. Will I be able to recover the remaining parts in 18 more days? Surely there are some parts that are not absolutely necessary. If my ship is not complete by day 30, the only way I will find out is to try to lift off. I just recalled the day I took my son for a ride in this spaceship. He was so happy. I shall tell him of this journey when I return, and I shall return. I must! I can already see the look of wonder on his precious face as I describe my adventures with the Pikmin. Okay, so we're doing really well. Not a Pikmin has been lost, population keeps rising. Lots of progress made today, and we're more than halfway from completing the game. And with everything accomplished, I think now would be a good time to call it a night. So tomorrow we're going to explore the remaining part of the Forest Navel in search of the final ship part, and if there's an enemy bug there, then we will deal with it somehow. So until tomorrow, I'm Multi Game Master 1. Thanks for watching and have a good night.